Hello, everybody. It's me, Ross, and welcome to another edition of Meet the Opposition. Today, I'm joined by Luke Ashmead from BBC Three Counties Radio. Luke, thank you very much for joining me, first of all. And we're going to talk all things Milton Keynes Dons ahead of town trip to Stadium MK this weekend. And it's been a good season under Liam Manning. Russell Martin left, Liam Manning came in, third in League One. Give us the lowdown, some insight on the season so far.
Well, yeah, you've started at exactly the right place, because I think there were some question marks and concerns when Russell Martin left after the first game, which was the EFL Cup game against Bournemouth. A lot of uncertainty, as you can imagine, which was hugely disappointing for the Dons fans, because after the season before, which was a little bit of a transition season, it was kind of getting the team together and playing the way Russell Martin wanted them to play. There was a lot of expectation that things could be better for that season. When Liam Manning was announced, and a change in the way MK Dons do things with the head coach model rather than the manager model. So the head coach model and a sporting director taking care of a lot of the recruitment with Liam Manning. Eyebrows were raised, and I don't think Liam would mind me saying this, but a lot of people, Liam who? He was a relatively unknown quantity. It didn't take long for people to warm to him, his style of football, the progression of what Russell Martin had started in that possession-based, attractive football. And before you knew it, he was developing players, making players that were better, and bringing in players with that recruitment department that enhanced the squad. So at the moment, he's a very popular man in Milton Keynes.
Indeed, third in League One, some really good football. Of course, we played each other early in the season. It was a 2-2 draw. Liam Manning, of course, returning to Portland Road. He was at the club as an academy player and academy manager. What sort of football can we expect from a Liam Manning side? We sort of briefly mentioned it there, but you've got some very good players to use that. But explain everything.
It's play out from the back, possession-based, free-flowing, passing football. It's interesting. It's the kind of football that, when it works and when it's at its best, it looks completely out of place in League One. I've watched a lot of League One football, League Two football, and Conference football, as well as Championship and Premier League. But it looks completely out of place. But I think a lot more clubs are starting to think this might be the way to go. This is how they can actually improve in League One, get better in League One, and then be ready for the step up when they go to the Championship. It's making sure that it's square pegs in square holes. That's what he's done. He's made sure that the recruitment is right for the players that are in the team, and the style of football that he wants to play. And as well as that passing football, that attacking passing football, defensively minded, they've been very, very solid. They've got this back three of O'Hora, Darling, and Lewington, and they are absolutely key to the success. So we think about the goals, and of course they've scored so many away goals. I think there's only one team in League One that scored more away goals. I think that's Plymouth, but they scored all these away goals. But defensively, they've been pretty sound. Mistakes here and there, and you get that when you're playing the ball out from the back. But defensively, very sound. And the other thing a Liam Manning side will bring is, or certainly something that he's made key that is hugely important. And we hear football managers say this a lot in interviews: culture, the culture of the club, the way that people behave, the type of characters that are brought into the club, the footballers. Yes, they're bringing footballers in for football quality and what they can do on the pitch, but they're also bringing in the people who are going to be part of a team, part of a squad, part of a club that's hopefully pushing forward in the right way.
Definitely. And let's quickly put the possible team, and also some of the danger men. I know you've lost Matt O'Reilly, but Scott Twine is the one name that straight away makes me go, oh God. I'm not looking forward to seeing him against Town. Some other players, you mentioned Dean Lewington already, 37 years old, still doing his business. I think he won, was it Player of the Month in League One as well? Liam Manning won Manager of the Month, so he's still doing the business. But take it away, the players we should look out for.
Well, interestingly, this highlights this lineup here, and I don't see many changes. I mean, one or two little tweaks, and we'll run through those. But The back four, as you see it, Jamie Cumming, O'Hora, Darling, and Lewington. So they'll play a back three with O'Hora right centre back, Darling in the middle, Lewington at left centre back. Jamie Cumming is on loan from Chelsea, and this is a prime example of where and I mentioned to you before about the recruitment and the way that that's improved the club. Andrew Fisher was sold, funny enough, to Swansea, Russell Martin's side. So Andrew Fisher went off there, and Andrew Fisher, a player who was comfortable with the ball at his feet, and that is what was key to him being at the club. Jamie has come in on loan from Chelsea and slotted right in. You just wouldn't know there's been a change. In fact, in some circumstances, I think he's actually even a little bit better. So that's been a huge boost for MK Dons to change goalkeepers mid-season and have somebody come in that's playing so well. The back three of O'Hora, Darling, and Lewington, solid, absolutely solid. You know what you're getting. Warren O'Hora, been a Brighton player, absolutely 7 out of 10 minimum every week. Harry Darling is one of the standout players for the side. I think he's capable of a higher level of football. Came from Cambridge, can play the ball with, he's a John Stones type character. He's that kind of defensive player. And Dean Lewington, you bags of experience, 800 odd, appearances for MK Dons. And that role suits him, central defender, not so much, but left side of a back three works for Dean Lewington, I think. And then if you look at the wing backs, you've got Dan Harvey, who's pretty much been a mainstay throughout this season. Defensively sound, quite aggressive going forward, will run down the flanks and put the balls in from the left-hand side. So Dan Harvey will play tomorrow. I'm absolutely sure about that. Then there's one or two question marks. Hayden, which is Kane Kessler Hayden, he played as right wing back against Fleetwood on Tuesday night. A very, very, very wet Fleetwood, I can tell you. Yeah. On Tuesday night. And he's on loan from Villa. He came in during the January transfer window on deadline day. Youngster, bags of pace. And I mean bags of pace. One of these youngsters that just goes at defenders, just go at players without really any idea why they're going. But looks useful. But I've only seen him once. Will he play him again? If he doesn't, he'll bring in Tenai Watson. But I think Hayden might get another go, to be totally honest with you. I mean, why bring in a Premier League player on loan and not play him? And then you're looking at the two kind of holding midfielders, Smith and Coventry. Smith's just signed from Man City, a decent pedigree and bags of space. He's gone out on loan with a lot of clubs from Man City. I'm not sure his debut wasn't outstanding, but then again, the circumstances and the conditions at Fleetwood were terrible. It was dreadful. It was a quagmire, and he's alongside Connor Coventry. Coventry come in on loan from West Ham, solid. Obviously, the links there from Liam Manning's time at West Ham will kind of run throughout the side. Connor Coventry had a really good game on Tuesday. I expect him to start. Smith, interchangeable maybe with Josh McEachran, who's a player that was formerly at Chelsea. Very possible that he might change Smith for McEachran. And then you're looking at the attacking three. He plays Parrott and Twine behind Mo Isa as the lone striker. He may well do that again. Twine will play. As you've said, Twine will play, and Twine's during the January transfer window, Ross, there was lots of concern about who was going to come in and how are they going to strengthen the squad, and they did that very well. But they kept Scott Twine. Yeah. That was almost like 4 signings, just keeping Scott Twine. We, MK Don supporters, the media, know Scott Twine will play at a high level. He may well, and I think Dons fans are expecting him to leave at the end of the season. MK Dons might go up. That might help. He's a super player. Strong for his build, skillful. Free kicks are out of this world. And he knows where the back of the net is. So he'll play. The only other change that I could see there is that he may change it slightly and bring Theo Corbeanu in, who's another on-loan player from Wolves. He may bring him in for Troy Parrott, or he may keep Parrott, push him up as the lone striker. I'm not sure that's the right position for him, and replace Isa. So I don't know. It's possible.
Yeah, of course. Troy Parrott was on loan last year at Town and didn't have a great time, although we were pretty rubbish under Paul Lambert / Paul Cook. So I think that's probably why he didn't have a great time. But of course, he'll be a player Town fans will be looking out for. I quickly mentioned Connor Wickham. Of course, he signed in January. Of course, formerly at Town, he'll be looking forward to playing against the former side. Yeah, he did. So what's he done so far? I know he's still coming back from injury and stuff, but has he been able to play yet?
He's a unit, is Connor, isn't he? Yeah. He's a big lad. He's a big lad, and I think it's a really interesting signing. I mean, it's not one that I think, you're going to absolutely know what's going to happen with Connor. I think he's still just getting fitter as the days go on. That said, he came on in the game against Burton. And was part of the goal, the winning goal in kind of 94 minutes for Scott Twine to loop it over the goalkeeper. I think it was his head down or chest down into the path of Scott Twine, who scored the goal. So I think he's a really useful addition, in as much as MK Dons do not have a front man like him. And if you're looking for a player late in the game to hold the ball up, to make it difficult from that perspective, I think he's perfect. Haven't seen enough of him to fully know how it's going to pan out for Connor Wickham, but he's got some pedigree, he's got lots of experience, so hopefully he can add something, and I think he will.
I think you will indeed too. And let's talk about the game itself then. 7,000 plus Town fans going to be in that away end. What sort of game are you expecting from Town v MK Dons? Both going to cancel each other out probably. It's going to be one of those great games to watch, a good spectacle, but maybe it could be a goalless draw? What are you expecting?
It's interesting. One thing, I think a lot of MK Dons supporters really enjoy the fact that there are thousands of fans coming, because it adds to the atmosphere. And anyone thinks that MK Dons doesn't have an atmosphere is wrong. It does. There's even when there's 300 or 400 travelling supporters, there's still an atmosphere inside there, even though it's a big stadium and they need to fill it. So that's a bonus. The likes of Leeds and Southampton and now Ipswich and Leicester have been there with massive followings as well in League One. Teams you wouldn't, a little bit like Ipswich, teams you wouldn't really expect to be in League One. So that's going to be a bonus. As far as the football, I think you're right. I think obviously with the way that Ipswich have picked up of late and the way things are going at last, I think for a lot of Ipswich fans, it's starting to come right. I expect a decent game. With that caveat, with that kind of warning. There is a possibility that the two sides could cancel each other out. Home form hasn't been as good as it should be, I think, for a side pushing for promotion, and I think that's something Liam Manning will want to arrest. So I'm expecting a good, positive game of football. The pitch isn't great, unfortunately, but so that doesn't add to the free-flowing MK Dons football, but or Ipswich football. But it should be a really good game. I think both sets of supporters will be looking forward to this one. MK Dons to really cement their position in where they are. Pushing towards Wigan and thinking about automatic promotion, and absolutely cementing the playoffs. For Ipswich, it's an opportunity to just drag somebody down a little bit and push towards them. So I think it's perfect. It's perfectly matched.
And of course, it's going to be the battle of the two young managers. Liam Manning's 36, Kieran McKenna's only 35, so it's going to be one of those who can out-tactical each other. One thing I'm worried about the game, actually, is I've just seen Harry Darling. He scored in the last two games, so he could be a big threat at set pieces. What is your prediction, and do you think he could be a big player in that box?
He could, absolutely. I mean, I think he scored six or seven goals this season. Certainly scored six. It might be seven. Harry Darling can get there. He's very good positionally, so I think he can. He could be amongst the goals. Scott Twine as well. You never write Scott Twine off. Got a funny feeling that Troy Parrott might get a goal tomorrow, just because of what you said. I've just got a funny feeling that it may be his time to get a goal. But there's goals coming from all over the park for MK Dons. I think tomorrow, going against what you might think, I think the Dons are going to edge this one by 1-0.
Do you know what? I'm echoing that, sadly. I'm actually going for an MK Dons win as well. I don't know. I hate to say that on a Ipswich Town video, but it's just how I'm feeling. But hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully you're wrong too. But there we go. But Luke, thanks so much for joining me. Any other notes before we wrap up?
No, just enjoy Milton Keynes. Just enjoy the whole area. You're all very welcome, Ipswich fans, to Milton Keynes, and come on, you Dons.
There we go. It's going to be one of those games that is going to be an amazing atmosphere. Hope you guys enjoy it if you're going. If you're not, follow it with us on Kings of Anglia, and we'll be back next time with game day and all the other bits and bobs. Once again, Luke, thanks for joining me. I want to see you next time. Bye-bye for now.